Good day, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia Lassero.
And I'm also Lawrence.
And welcome back to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We're bringing the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's already Tuesday. Let's jump into these top headlines.
GEBE advances underground utility works in Colby. GEBE has begun the second phase of its water and electricity underground infrastructure project, pushing ahead the plans to modernize St. Martin's utility network. The work started August 18th on Waterfront Road in Colby and are moving toward Wellington Road, with completion expected at Well Road. The initiative, financed by the National Recovery Program Bureau, is designed to protect vital services from storm damage and improve the island's overall infrastructure resilience. Project manager Angelo Myers said the Colby segment is progressing on schedule, but abandoned or wrecked vehicles along the route are slowing crews down. He urged owners to remove them or to call 546-1184 for assistance. Future phases will extend underground cabling to South Reward, Point Blanche, and Princess Quarter, among other districts, completing a major step in safeguarding St. Martin's water and electricity system. GEBE thanked residents for their patience and encouraged them to stay informed as the works are advancing in their neighborhoods.
Kadaster and Government set to sign a landmark land management agreement. St. Martin's government is preparing to formalize a groundbreaking partnership with Kadaster, the National Land Registry, marking the first ever strategic framework for land and spatial management in the country. Officials from the Ministry of Romy and Finance met recently with Kadaster Managing Director Benjamin Ortega to finalize details of the agreement. Whether signed as an MOU decree or working arrangement, the deal aims to streamline how government and Kadaster share and manage data, ensuring greater efficiency, transparency, and continuity. The framework is expected to immediately boost several key projects, including the address management solution, which depends on accurate parcel and registry data, and the creation of a single authoritative national base map to replace multiple unverified versions now in use. Better integration will also support faster permitting, safer excavation through the Cables and Lines Information Center, and a uniform addressing system to improve navigation and emergency response. Capacity building is another focus, with joint training and staff exchanges planned to strengthen institutional knowledge and support Kadaster's new GIS platform. Minister of Romy, the Honorable Patrice Gums, called the move a step toward proper spatial planning and stronger public service delivery. Finance Minister, the Honorable Maarten Gums, said it aligns financial oversight with innovation and resilience. Once signed, the agreement will create a clear roadmap for how St. Martin protects and develops its land, infrastructure, and spatial data, a milestone in the country's digital transformation and long-term development.
SCDF urges public to register for Carnival 2026 before October 1st. The St. Maarten Carnival Development Foundation is reminding residents and stakeholders that they have just 2 weeks left to register for Carnival 2026. The deadline to sign up is October 1st, with no extensions planned. Registration opened July 1st and covers all key areas of the 55th edition of Carnival, including the junior, teen, and senior pageants, the Calypso and Road March competitions, Band of the Year, junior and senior troops, booths, and season passes. Once the sign-up period closes, SCDF will release the full Carnival 2026 schedule, ensuring only events with enough participants make the calendar. Preparations have been steady since the end of Carnival 2025, with concert nights already awarded and troop themes confirmed. The foundation thanked the public for their cooperation in off-season planning and stressed that early preparation helps guarantee a well-organized celebration. Anyone wishing to take part in Carnival 55 can register online at www.sxm-carnival.com before October 1st. When pandemic checkpoints split St. Maarten in two, residents stood together to reclaim their freedom. In our featured story, we revisit a protest that turned frustration into triumph.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Maarten, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Maarten. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Maarten by St. Maarten hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
With a Sunshine Report straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you all the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. Don't forget to follow NEWSDESK on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy the rest of your day, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Maarten. The Ministry of Vromi, Department of Infrastructure Management, together with the Police Department KPSM, is making changes to traffic on a section of Canagita Street and Manzanella Steak, Phillipsburg. The Canagita Street from the intersection with Percy LaBega Street to Manzanella Steak will now be a one-way street. Inbound traffic can enter Canagita Street from Percy LaBega Street and drive straight ahead or turn left into Manzanella Steak. Outbound traffic leaving town on Canagita Street must make a right turn onto Manzanella Steak. Entry further into the Canagita Street will no longer be permitted. Outbound traffic exiting Manzanella Steak onto Walter Nisbet Road can either make a right or left-hand turn. The Ministry of Vromi, Department of Infrastructure Management, and the Police Department would like to thank the public for their attention to this change. Please follow the new traffic rules and signage and drive safely.
CBCS and IEDOM signed landmark agreement on cross-border economic data. The Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin and Francis, IEDOM, have signed a historic memorandum of understanding to strengthen cooperation between the two sides of the island. CBCS President Richard Dornbosch and IEDOM President Ivan Odenat formalized the deal during a ceremony at the CBCS office in Phillipsburg. The agreement focuses on improving how the banks collect and share data about St. Martin and St. Martin's interconnected economies. By streamlining statistics such as tourism arrivals, room inventory, and other indicators, the partnership aims to sharpen economic analyses, strengthen forecasts, and support sound monetary policy for both jurisdictions. Officials said the MOU also lays the groundwork for future research into shared priorities, especially as tourism continues to drive the island's growth. The collaboration is expected to give decision makers on both sides a clearer picture of the region's financial health and trends.
White and Yellow Cross Care Foundation holds first Dementia Awareness Walkathon. The White and Yellow Cross Care Foundation hosted its first ever Dementia Awareness Walkathon this past Saturday, bringing together 55 participants to raise awareness about dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The early morning event began at 6 a.m. at the St. Martin's home, with walkers following a route along L.B. Scott Road, Bush Road, Zagersgut, and Carolita Road before returning to the foundation. The theme, Ask About Dementia, Ask About Alzheimer's, encouraged conversations and community engagement around these conditions. Minerva Maku, one of the White and Yellow Cross future dementia case managers, emphasized the importance of support and education, noting that every step taken helps create a more informed and compassionate community. The event was supported by local partners and volunteers, including Carl & Sons Unique Bakery, Cosulas, and community members. It also kicks off the White and Yellow Cross Care Foundation Alzheimer's Awareness Month initiatives, which include the upcoming Alzheimer's Support Group Cooking Club, offering caregivers and their loved ones social and educational activities. The White and Yellow Cross remains dedicated to raising awareness, supporting prevention, and equipping caregivers, aiming to improve the quality of life for those affected by dementia.
Amuseum Naturalis offers free Heritage Day activities. Amuseum Naturalis at the Old House will host 3 free activities on Saturday morning, September 20th, as part of Heritage Days, organized by the Department of Cultural Affairs of the Collectivity of St. Martin. Le Fruit de Mer will lead a guided tour of the museum at 10 a.m., while the Society of History of St. Martin will present exhibits on St. Martin's involvement in World War I, World War II, and the Algerian War, with sessions at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. The Swali Women Cultural Association will offer 2 demonstrations of traditional Johnny cake baking in wood-fired barrel ovens, scheduled for 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. All activities are free, though spaces are limited. Interested participants can sign up via the Collectivity of St. Martin's social media accounts. Amuseum Naturalis will also be open from 9 a.m. to noon for visitors who want to explore on their own. Le Fruit de Mer President Jen Yerkes encouraged the public to attend and enjoy the museum and cultural presentations. 5 years since, and the September 16 movement still shapes St. Martin's identity. A new petition could make it an official holiday. That story next.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll.
What is it?
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Welcome back to our NEWSDESK featured story. Today we look at a defining moment in St. Martin's recent history. 5 years ago, on September 16, 2020, residents from both sides of the island gathered in a peaceful but powerful march, demanding an end to border closures and a return to the island's shared spirit. As we mark the anniversary, Alston explores how that day reshaped St. Martin and why a new call is emerging to honor that day as a permanent reminder of unity.
The September 16th movement was born out of frustration. In 2020, renewed border checkpoints separated families, hampered businesses, and disrupted schooling. Grassroots activists led by the Swaliga United Movement rallied islanders to demand freedom of movement. By mid-September, tensions reached a tipping point. On the morning of the 1600s, marched from Cold Bay to Bellevue dressed in black. They waved signs, sang chants, and raised the unity flag, a red, black, and green banner etched with the island's golden outline. Elders and youth stood side by side. Pastors, artists, and even politicians joined the crowd. That same evening, French authorities agreed to dismantle the checkpoints. By the next day, families, students, and workers could once again cross freely. The protests proved that peaceful solidarity could move barriers, both physical and political. Its impact continued to ripple. Within days, Dutch and French leaders opened talks on border cooperation. In the years that followed, September 16th inspired new civic action, from land rights to cultural preservation, and even influenced diplomacy, leading to a 2023 treaty settling the centuries-old Oyster Pond dispute. The unity flag, once hoisted in defiance, became an emblem of togetherness after its official adoption in 2022. And now, a fresh chapter is unfolding. The St. Maarten Foundation has launched a petition urging both administrations to declare September 16th a public holiday, a national day of unity and free movement. Organizers say the designation would honor the spirit of cooperation and remind future generations that borders need not divide a people.
September 16th remains more than a date. It's a living reminder of what can happen when a community chooses connection over division. Whether through annual gatherings, the flying of the unity flag, or a new push to enshrine the day as a national day of unity and free movement, the legacy of that protest continues to grow. 5 years later, St. Maarten still carries the message of those who marched. One island, one people, one destiny. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across all social media platforms. I'm Elsa Lawrence.
And I'm Jessiana Lassiter, wishing you an amazing day and evening. See you tomorrow.
Stay friendly, stay Maarten.